athletes and whether or not they were clean in those games. Marc Thiessen joins me now, American Enterprise Institute scholar and Fox News contributor, digging into this for us today. Marc, good evening to you. Everybody had the same reaction when this crossed the wires today. This is a big deal.
It is a big deal. I mean, and look, I guess there's not going to be a rematch of the Miracle on Ice this time around. But I mean, what a stunning fall from grace for Russia, from hosting the Winter Olympic Games in Sochi 4 years ago to being banned from the Winter Olympic Games 4 years later in South Korea. And the reason, as you suggest, is because there was this massive doping scandal where they were giving their athletes performance-enhancing drugs. It involved the Russian Olympic Committee, the Ministry of Sport, and not only that, the FSB, the successor agency to the KGB was involved. What they apparently did, Martha, was they built a secret lab right next to the room, the storage room where the urine samples were held, with a hole in the wall. And what they would do is in the middle of the night, they would take the samples of the athletes that had been doping, put them through the wall. They would give it to a KGB FSB officer who would take it away, somehow magically get the tamper-proof cap off and return it with clean urine. In one case, a Russian female hockey player ended up with male urine. And there was over 100 athletes that were compromised. One third of their medals were compromised. Exactly.
I'm just picturing it's like a scene from The Americans, right? They're like on the other side of the wall, peeing into the cups and putting the tape back on. I mean, you just can't make it up. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you think about that. I think about growing up, you know, watching all the Olympics. I love watching, especially the Winter Olympics and the hockey players and, you know, all of these winter sports and the skiers. The Russians are always the most difficult contenders out there. It's going to change the games, and you're not going to ever see that Russian the flag rising over the podium as one of them steps up there. Heartbreaking, obviously, for some of these athletes who did not mess with anything to miss out.
Very true. But, you know, on the other hand, if you think about all those athletes in Sochi who had medals stolen from them because of this illegal doping, who never got to stand up on the podium because some Russian athlete was taking performance-enhancing drugs, and they later on, they'll come back and give them the medal that they should have had, but you can never give them back that moment on the podium that was stolen from them. So, you know, this is for the integrity of the games and for the integrity of the players who will be there in Sochi.
Yeah, it's really, it's awful. And, you know, they are going to have some of them in neutral uniform. And what are they going to do when they win? They'll be Russians who were cleared to participate, but they're not going to play the anthem or put the flag up?
That's exactly right. They play as Russian athlete under Olympic auspices. So they play the Olympic anthem and put up the Olympic flag for these athletes. But you know, the people hurt the most is hockey, because already the National Hockey League has barred its players from playing. So the Russian team was going to dominate because the second best league in the world is the KHL, and the Russians were going to be coming in like a storm to take that medal. And now even those players are not going to be there. So it's going to change the complexion of the games enormously.
Miracle behind the wall, but not Miracle on Ice. Thank you, Marc. Good to see you tonight.
Yep, exactly.
So coming up next from this dramatic announcement.